to the Fruit of Life podcast, where we nourish your minds one conversation at a time. This is episode 4 on our channel, and this is a part 2 to our previous episode, Confronting Demons, where we were diving into different aspects that surround demons and how we deal with them internally and externally. I have my 2 co-hosts with me today again, my brothers.
Asaad.
Yeah, Rafi Muhammad.
Oh, Ishmael Muhammad, by the way. I ain't introduced myself. But yeah, for sure. I'm going to let the brother to my left take over, though, get us started on this one.
Yeah, so I'm excited about today's episode. It's fighting demons. We've explained it in the previous episode, but I wanted to delve deeper and deeper into it and make it a little bit more personable. Like, how does that apply to us in our lives? And even though we touched on it, I feel like there's a lot more room to cover when it comes to exploring those demons and overcoming those demons.
And real talk, because I ain't gonna lie, I think of all 3 of us experiencing a level of demon in our life currently as we speak. We going through these trials as we speak.
I agree.
This very second we going through it, bro. You feel me?
I agree.
So man, what are some ways that that y'all are what are some ways that are helping y'all get through the certain trials that's in your life right now, demon-wise?
I'll definitely say I remember last episode we were discussing about procrastination. So a couple of the ways that I'm handling procrastination, I should say, is just, fixing my mind and just get it done and not stressing or not even thinking about what if. Because I know a lot of the times we, as individuals, we think too damn much. We sit there and we're always trying to overanalyze something versus just doing it. Sometimes stupid people, some people will say stupid, they just act. They don't think. And you know how sometimes folks, they always say, hey, think before you act or whatever. Sometimes you just got to do it. So my personal experience, I think that's just something that I'm conquering right now. It's just doing it. It don't matter what I think about it. It doesn't matter if it's, as long as it's beneficial, then I'm getting it done. So
I think really a lot of it is about personal reflection. Being honest in terms of knowing who you are and why you are who you are in that dispensation of time. Because as humans, as an individual, we are always changing. We are always changing according to whatever cycle life is showing us at that moment. So for me, it's about really building the will, and that takes a lot of personal self-reflection to do that. And wanting to build the will to the point where whatever obstacle that I'm facing, I know for damn sure I can overcome that obstacle. So that's my whole thing right there. Like, how do I build that will? And it's a lot of what he said, just action.
Yeah.
And making it happen. And once you start to see, like, you're the one that's making it happen, then I have to keep making it happen. Then I have to get into a rhythm. Life is about rhythm. So how do you create that rhythm, even though you're going through these trials and tribulations?
Oh, that's real, man. Heavy on it, like Nike said, just do it. Because a lot of times, we procrastinate. We sit with the idea in our head of things that we know that we can do to help us get to, help us dismiss this problem that's in our life currently. But we think on the problem, we think on the solution so much that we don't put no action towards it. And then we look up and then 3 or 4 days go by and we like, damn, nigga, it's the same shit.
Or I even think we sit here and we spend too much time on thinking what can possibly go wrong.
Ooh, heavy.
Because we sit there and we'll have an idea and we'll sit there and we'll talk ourselves out the goddamn idea because of what can possibly go wrong. Mm-hmm. It's like when you're starting a business. It's too many I don't knows, along the pathway. So, and sometimes you just we expect perfection. We expect it to all be figured out. I want to have this, or I want to have that. Then from there, I want to have this, whatever. And then sometimes it just ain't gonna go like that. So I can say for me personally, I've had a few ideas, that I've tried, but a lot of that it took me some time to try because it's just like I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't know what's gonna go on here. And in a way, like my father says, that's a bit of fear. It's the fear of uncertainty. It's not necessarily you're just afraid of it, but it's just a lot of uncertainties that are taking place. When you're uncertain about something and you can't see it, it's, hey man, it's a little frightening, man. I'll just say that. I'll just say that. So what about y'all? What y'all think? What's a few things, man?
Man, yeah, y'all know my situation, I got me thinking about something I even experienced just last month, just in its own self. I had to come up with a certain amount of bread by a certain amount of time, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm thinking like, man, I know I'm gonna be good. I know I know what to do to get it done, bro.
Yeah.
And then my slow behind. I'm waiting until it's 2 days before the date to pay the thing to actually move out on the idea that I said I was gonna do. But that's that sloth. That's that procrastination, bro. And that's the one we all deal with that. I don't think there's nobody on this planet that don't deal with that one right there, bro.
You know what's crazy?
What's up?
I was speaking, I wasn't speaking, but my teacher in class today, he was talking about, for some reason, how I operate and how men at large operate is that we wait at the most inopportune times to finally do something. Like when something has to be done, like for example, like I don't go to the doctor, but like if I feel pain or it's like my finger is twitching or whatever the case may be, now I have to go to the doctor. When I've seen symptoms of the issue earlier, but I'm waiting on the systems to be like dramatic or something like that in order to finally get it checked. So for some reason, like we operate as that, like as men, we operate that way. But like, how do we get out of that thinking and get ahead of the game? You know what I'm saying? Because we always procrastinated.
Talk, man. What the guy say? He said, "Be and it is." Though he didn't say "be and it may possibly be." Be and it is. That means we go out there and do it.
Yeah, I think sometimes that comes from just us, because we're so out in the world, and we have so many other things to focus on. And I believe personally that if things are fine between us, or just in general, I think we kind of have that mentality like, well, we good. All right, it ain't that big of a deal. Even when it comes to the doctor, I'm glad you brought up the doctor scenario or whatever. Because I don't go to the doctor. I haven't been to the doctor in a hot ass minute, but it's just, to me, the best diet is just taking care of yourself, exercising, fasting when you can, whatever. Now, however, I need to go to the doctor and just go see what's going on, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't sick. I ain't been sick in a very long time. Whatever. I haven't felt any serious pains or any pains at all, to be honest with you. But I do think that to a degree, my mentality personally is just, hey man, I'm out, I'm working, I'm in survival mode right now. So when you're in survival mode right now, you trying to get it how you live it. So sometimes I think when you're in survival mode, it's very hard for you to get out of that to go and check on some other stuff. You're not at a point of clarity at times because you're too busy surviving. And most people here I would even say in America, a lot of us, we're still in that survival mode. And survival mode doesn't necessarily mean how much money you got, but it's a heavy aspect on how much money you do have. But I would say that causes a lot of stress. And when you're stressed like that, you're not at a point where you can think clearly to where you're able to be like, you know what, I should go to the doctor just to go check and see how I'm doing. Not necessarily that anything is wrong, or I have more time to write that book that I've been thinking about, or write that poem that I've been thinking about, or maybe just go sit out in the park, different things like that. But when you're in that survival mode, it's very, very, very hard and very challenging for you to be at a point. To be at a point where you can actually be clear. So that's kind of what I think, but I like what you said though.
Man, stress is so big right now. That's why you see, even in prison, suicide is through the roof. And just the way that the world on everybody right now it's becoming too much. Yeah. So I think giving our audience and giving, whoever's out there listening different ways to help, not just in the level of just giving up, but be able to keep going and know that whatever you're going through is temporary. Yeah. At the same time, even though we talking about procrastination, this and the third, like even though you may be procrastinating on what you're supposed to be doing, at the end of the day, it's in your head of what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah. So it's you just getting down there and just doing it, but don't allow whatever temporary moment is in your life to be your end all, be all. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of us youngsters, we going through that now because people living paycheck to paycheck. Man, what the cost of living is through the roof. Everything is like, man, they feel like the world is just crumbling down on us at the same time. Yeah. But I did want to take it a different direction, man. Not a different direction, but I want to talk about the lust demon, man. Something that we like, man, male and female, we all, bro. Come on, we live in an over-sexualized society. All you gotta do is open your phone right now. You gonna see, you feel me? You gonna see something that you ain't really supposed to see, man. So can we touch on that a little bit? That lust demon, man, because that's powerful. That's powerful. It's natural.
It's natural, but it's pressure, just like everything else. Mm-hmm. So even further delving into your point when you talk about all the pressure of society to be somebody great and make something of yourself, or else people don't care about you, they disregard you, they treat you like trash, invisible man, or you might as well be. The pressure that your parents put on you to be better than them, you know, and to lead you in the right direction, or to hope they lead you in the right direction. The pressure of your friends, you know, and wanting to help your friends, and your friends wanting to see you succeed.
Yeah.
All of these things are pressure. And then you have the pressure of women. Because women, to be honest with you, they were made to complement us as men and to cater to us in the ways that we need to be catered to, not want to be catered to, in order to become the best version of yourself. They're feeding you because they're supposed to pay attention to you. They're force multipliers. And above all else, they're nurturers. So they feed you exactly what you need. But also, the thing we lose sight of when we talk about lust is that we get so caught up in the physical attraction that we fail to see what truly, the makeup of a woman, what truly makes her special, what truly makes her unique. And I would like to bring it back to a conversation I was having with my dad. He said a lot of brothers fall victim and they stay off of their demon because of women. And the thing about women and the thing about people, when you really break it down, is flesh is not special. It's not the flesh that makes the human being special. Although you're beautiful on the outside, what really make you special, if we want to keep it real, is your spirit. Because your spirit, nobody can touch your spirit. Like, only you can be you. And only you can do the things that you do. Yeah. That's how Allah made it. So your spirit is your character, your actions, the driving force of who you are as a woman. And that's what should be highlighted. But a lot of times we want to get to know women outside in instead of inside out. Inside is her mind, the contents of the character. Outside is the physical, the version that you see when you look her in the eye. Right? But I'm not really discovering who she is as a person because I'm so focused on, you look good. So because you look good, red flags. But the red flags are green flags to me. Because I got one goal. I'm trying to get with you. Straight like that. And these are the mindsets of a lot of men. But I've learned that when focusing on the spirit, long story short, your spirit is going to guide you. And my spirit is telling me to focus on myself and any woman who is attracted to my spirit. And if my spirit deems her somebody that can be in alignment with me and my goal, then I want to further pursue that. But I got to take care of me first. And then the more I take care of me, the more I have discernment to know what woman I need to be with. You know?
Dang, heavy point, brother. I agree with a lot of the stuff that you said. I'm going to put in something different when we talk about the lust demon, personally. Because I'll say this. I love women. Now, I'm not a guy, I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm not a man that goes out and just, I'm not a man, I'm not out in the streets, I don't just go, you know what I'm saying? I'm very specific with the kind of women that I am interested in. However, I would say that lust is highlighted now. That's just as you said, you can open your phone and you can just see whatever it is that you want to see. Everything is easy access, and that's intentional. Because I'll say it like this, Satan knows the human being. He knows everything, and he knows the male. Because all of this is it's an attack on the male. Because if he can get you focused on lust and use the women and undress them and present them in front of the world, because he knows that it's the nature in us to reproduce, it'll keep us down where we at. It'll keep us focusing on that, on the lust, on just trying to get something else versus us trying to elevate. It puts our mind in the nature state versus the God state, you know, to where we just want to go and we want to conquer. Oh man, I would just want to go reproduce. We have that, as you like to say, one of your favorite words, dopamine hit. We want to get that dopamine hit from going out and hitting this or going out and hitting that, you know, or doing whatever, you know, sauteing, flambeing in all kind of ways. You know how we do as men, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's highlighted intentional. I know that's highlighted intentionally in order to keep us at a point where, to keep us at a low vibration. I'll say it like that, you know? So, yeah, brother. What about you, Brother Ishmael?
Yeah, man. Oh, y'all provided some amazing perspectives. I ain't gonna lie. It ain't too much that I can say because you provided the spiritual part, even the focusing on yourself part, and you provided that real deal, real part. You keep it big. Shit, we love women, respectfully. I mean, love them. That's how it's set up. We supposed to be attracted to the opposite sex. Is what it is. I mean, the force is so powerful. That's why the Most High set it up that way. We reproduce that way, you know. But I do highlight the fact that it's heavily intentional by the not the creators and the makers of this world, but the ones who control what's being pushed out. They pushing out this low level, low desiring, low just everything's just low, bro. Yeah. Low minded. It's just to the point where it wants us, like my brother said, wants us to operate in the thinking that's not in accordance with who we are. Yes. So I'm like, man, bro, it's I ain't gonna lie, it's a battle on the daily, bro. You can walk outside, you're gonna see a beautiful woman. That just, you feel me? But it's focusing and honing in on yourself to the point where you're not looking at this sister from a physical attraction level. I'm looking at this sister like, damn, like in a way she is a god too, but she don't necessarily know that that's who she is. Therefore she operating in this manner, and that's just real at the same time. Because I think the more that we as men clean ourselves up, I think we'll not just attract a different woman to a degree, but we'll necessarily align our woman up with who they supposed to be if we lead in our correct manner. And that's not with just the woman that we being with, that's the woman that's around us, because they seeing God in a man, and that's ultimately what they yearn for, you know? Yep. So that just got me thinking on the whole lust aspect.
That's a powerful point to even follow it up. The God within a man. It's not about me that the woman looks up to. It's about the God in me. She has to see that. You know what I'm saying? Facts. And a lot of times that's the distraction part. That's where that comes in, because I'm so caught up in getting to know you, but it's really under false pretenses, because I'm getting to know you on a surface level in order to get inside of you. I'm not really getting to know you in order to build a long-lasting relationship with you. Because if I was to do that, then I would know that I need to focus on myself and building a certain type of rapport with myself in which I know myself and I know my purpose. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says, and I always go back to this because it's so important, the most powerful thing a man could do, or what a man takes most pleasure in, is building his dream, right? So whatever is in my head that I want to create, I am able to create that reality. And in doing so, it's just like, it's so powerful, but at the same time, if I'm investing in a woman, when I know I got dreams, I know I got things that I want to do, but I'm spending money on a woman that I don't have to impress her. You know, I'm running errands for a woman that, you know, I want to impress, I want to be with, or I am with her. You know, and I'm losing track of time. Because like you said a couple episodes back, we lose track of time all the time, but we have to take advantage of the time that we have. So if a person, a woman or a man, is not adding to you and not giving you what you need in order to be successful, in the way that you need to be successful, in the way God wants you to be successful, then unfortunately you're wasting your time. You got to really assess yourself in that situation.
Real talk. Ooh, what the minister, he talked about how they took away the science of mating, actual facts. And I look at it like, man, a lot of my people, they may not necessarily know who Master Farah Muhammad is, but that's a man we say who came in the person of God. So my dad, he used to always touch on how Master Farah Muhammad was born. His dad was mad critical about the person that he was going to reproduce with. So we searched out and find a certain individual, not like I'm looking for this certain person, but the certain qualities that line up with who I want to bring into this life. If I'm trying to reproduce a God, first I got to become God. We got to become a God. But if I'm trying to reproduce a God, I've got to go find, or I got to search for the God within another woman, or for God within a woman, before I could produce a God that's going to lead all people and lead the nation into the direction it should be led in. So it just got me thinking about that.
That's crazy that you said that, because I was going to say something similar to that. I was going to say also, when it comes to the lust aspect, that a male, it may not even always just be the aspect of he's just trying to hit. He could lust after her in a way that he sees something in her. He sees that God in her, or whatever. Or he may not know that it's that God in her that he sees. But you know, when some guys, they say, I don't know, it's just something about her. It's just something about her that's different. That curiosity. that's going to your point, that spiritual aspect. There's something that you see that's beyond the physical that is within. You got a certain eye for it, and it's just like, damn, there's something about this particular girl, whatever, that I gotta see about. I may not be going about it the right way or whatever. How some niggas, they just be ready to go out and, to bust or whatever, da-da-da-da. But at the same time, I think that when it comes to the lust aspect, you can lust for someone, and it doesn't always have to be sexual. I think you can lust for someone, and it could just be, I don't know, it's just something about them. I'll put it to you like that are searching for that you as an individual may lack, or you as an individual may not have, and you see that other individual has it. So I like how you said that, searching for the God in the woman, because it's definitely in there. It's definitely there, and you got to know how to pull it out.
I was gonna say, I think too, that's kind of how, like, it depends on how you start off that relationship with that individual. Because if your first point of view perspective is, okay, I see this person, okay, she's mad beautiful, and then your mind automatically going to the sexual aspect of thing. That's when that lust come in, homie, because now you operating from that low desire.
Green flags.
Man, what you gonna say, man?
With your mind playing tricks on you.
Hey, man, facts. But nah, man, that's just real, bro.
But one thing I've been thinking about, I'm not gonna even lie to y'all, how we've been talking, is drawing parallels to the different demons. Like, if you think about it, like, from the lust aspect of things, a lot of it is just a lack of productivity. Because I have way too much time, and I'm giving all of these different women my time, when I could be using my time and constructing my time to put forth a schedule, or not even a schedule, but just do things that are more conducive to the lifestyle that I'm trying to live. And now you talk about energy transfer, and one thing is the way that you do everything. So you definitely want to be mindful of the way that you handle women, right? And then that go down to the way that you handle your business, the way that you handle your homework, the way that you handle a presentation. Like, everything, like, the way you practice is the way you play. I was always told that growing up by my mom. So it's so important for us to not lose sight of that. That sloth demon, bro, and just procrastination in general. Like, I used to be one of them people, like, just a huge dreamer and a huge talker. But I talk about something so much that I lose focus in terms of the action in order to execute what it is that I'm talking about. And a lot of people are dreamers, and you're supposed to dream big. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we want to do. We want to dream big. We don't want to just be confined to the societal standards and what the world say that we are. We want to be who God says that we are. At the same time, in order to do that, God said be and it is. So if I'm going to say I'm going to do something, I'm supposed to be someone, then I got to do the things that I need to do to be that someone, or to create what it is that I want to create,
I agree with you.
What are your thoughts on that, in terms of, like, these different demons, and what are some similarities you see between these demons?
I think a lot of it comes from a lack of discipline. I think a lot of it comes from just the aspect of, like you said, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So to a degree, when you're not really focused on a lot of stuff, then you have different thoughts that come to your mind. And I think that a lot of it is natural. Because I know we say demons and we always make that out to be negative, but I think that part of being self-aware is being aware of the downsides and also the positive sides, and knowing how to look at them and be able to analyze when certain parts of you is showing up. Because, it's easy for people to sit here and say, oh yeah, I have all the good, I'm equated with all of my good sides and everything like that. And you're not necessarily aware of your bad side, because when you test it, then your bad side show more than your good side show. So, I think that just in general, as a whole, just in response to what it is that you said, I think a lot of it comes from that, and it comes from a lack of being self-aware.
Yeah, heavy on that, bro. A lot of distractions. That's all it is. It's distractions from us reaching our highest potential, our highest way of being at the end of the day. The devil of the inner and the devil of the outer, they know that. That's why in a way they kind of, he working a line. He gonna feed us some certain thing that's gonna tap into that inner, that lower part of self, and it's gonna bring it out into fruition. So it's all distractions, but I think combating and becoming self-aware to the point where I know that this is coming in my path, and I know that my level of thinking doesn't align with what's coming in my path, therefore I'm gonna do whatever that's possible to not allow this to overtake who I am. So I think that's been, you know, that's been ways I've been able to correlate from the lust demon to the procrastination demon to all of them. They all just big distractions, man. Extremely big distractions that's weighing us down as a people, as an individual. That's keeping us blinded. Real talk.
1000%. And distraction, I would say, is the language of the devil. That's the language that he speaks. But even within that process, I find that it's a beauty within that struggle. And God is speaking to you throughout that whole process as well. It's just a matter if you consciously make the decision to listen to him.
Heavy on that.
Heavy on that.
I've been doing a lot lately is really getting more acquainted with the Bible and figures in the Bible and trials and tribulations that they go through. And subconsciously in my head, I would try to see, okay, how do I fit into that equation? What am I going through right now? I believe that when certain things happen in your life, because I've been getting hit like a freaking boxer and beating me up or something. When it was a couple situations, my dad, I'm gonna call my dad, he like, Asaad, there's been a lot of things happening with you, man. You straight? Kind of one of them check-up things.
Hey, boy, my dad called me.
Welcome to being in the dark. I'm like, yeah, I feel it, but I'm not going to complain about it.
Nope.
In a way that feeds into the problem. I want to correct the problem. So when I look at the beauty within struggle, then certain things happen for a reason. Well, everything happens for a reason. So now it's my job to find out the reason. I'm the common denominator because these problems keep happening to the same person. They happen to other people, but I'm just talking about me in my life. I got a front row seat in my life. So I'm seeing all of these things happen and play out, and I'm processing them. And while I'm processing them, I'm like, you know what? I think that if I do this a little bit more, if I lean to God a little bit more, if I read a little bit more, if I study a little bit more, if I stop procrastinating a little bit more, then now I'm on the right path, the path that I need to be. So I'm taking all of these problems in stride because I'm already knowing I'm gonna come out on the other side victorious. And I have to move that way like I really and truly believe that in order to get rid of the issue. Not to say that other issues are not gonna come up, but at the end of the day, if God got me, man, I can't lose. I just can't.
That's a fact.
I'll always put it right back to him, right? And then I land on this point right here. I look at the story of Hannah in the Bible. She wanted a son. That's what she wanted. God didn't give her the son exactly when she needed it. He gave her the son exactly when he felt qualified that she deserved the son. And a lot of times in our life, the reason why we look for signs, we say, why don't I have this money already? You know, why don't I have this child? Why haven't I been married? You know, why didn't I get my master's degree? Whatever the case may be, whatever you want in your life, why don't you have it? And you become ungrateful or you become bitter and you operate from that stance. But if you really look at it and assess it, it's like, do you really qualify for what it is that you want? And if you don't have it, there's a reason you don't have it. I said that you don't deserve it right now. And that's okay. But that don't mean you should give up. I'm gonna be persistent when it comes to getting what it is that I want. So like when it comes to like that beauty within struggle, like how do y'all correlate that in terms of y'all lives and what y'all been going through? Like how y'all make sense of it all? You know?
Man, you wanna start it off, Chief?
I make sense of it all by having the mental model that everything bad that happens to me is really good. Because at the end of the day, it's a way to make you better. Because you'll never get better without struggle. If everything went exactly how you wanted it to go, you'd actually be worse off than what you are if everything went to total shit. Honestly, because life is not about what happens to you, it's about how you react to what happens to you. You can have a bad situation and look at it as, oh dang, like you said, like, oh, you get mad or you get ungrateful, whatever, but you just got to look at it from the aspect of, you can look at it from the aspect of, this is happening to me, or you can look at it from the aspect that this is happening for me. So me personally, I don't care. Everything can be wrecked. I can have less than $1 in my bank account or whatever, and I'll still have the mindset that, hey, everything is fine. I can lose everything. I can gain everything, and I can lose it all. And I know at the end of the day that, it's time for a reset. Things are getting ready to get better. This is a test. This is testing me. Am I going to fail this test? Am I going to look at this as, that this is all happening to me, and am I going to start crying tears and everything because this is happening to me? Nah, this is happening for me. So I know, because the only way, if I'm down right now, the only way up, and the only way out is up. you know, whatever comes down must go up. So that's how I look at it for me personally.
Man, I know coming out this blessed month of Ramadan, you know, we was able to read the Quran, right? And it's a part in the Quran that talk about 1,000 days to us is 1 day to Allah. And even in the part, it also talked about seek assistance through patience and prayer. So I'm looking at it like my brother just said, man, everything that comes at me, at first I was so negative in my life. I'm like, damn, why this keep happening to me?
Yep.
Oh, it's happening again. But now I'm welcoming it to my life because I know that this is Allah's tools of building me character-wise and internally wise, just all in general. But that's just my perspective on it now. I mean, I just welcome anything that come into my life, and just know that shit, I'm gonna come out victorious at the end because it's 3 back at me in my righteousness.
100%.
1,000%.
Man, it makes it so much easier when you just boil it down to character development.
For real.
It's my story. I can't avoid this character.
Real talk, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Can't avoid it at all, man. Can't avoid it at all, man.
It's crazy because I look back in my life, it's like I can see the change from where I was. I'm talking about when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
I'm talking about freaking preteen and where I am now. Like back then, I ain't gonna lie to you, like in the beginning stages of like education, when it came to me taking it serious, like I took it real serious.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember we had an award, I don't know if y'all remember the Golden Apple. That used to be a big thing, like who gonna have the highest grade point?
Yeah.
I used to be really into that. And then at a certain point, like I lost my competitive edge, I would say, and I was just coasting in school.
Yeah.
I was just doing whatever I can to take care of whatever grade, you know, just coasting. Like I'm cool with a C, you know, I'm cool with a B. I'm not really gonna exhaust my resources to make that A.
Yeah.
You know, go to that next level in terms of like my work ethic.
Yeah.
I do that. But now it's like whatever I am doing, and I get the feedback from my parents and certain people that like, Asaad, you really put work in. I see the difference in terms of how I'm operating now. Like I used to didn't care about jobs. I didn't want no job. Like, I'm trying to be a boss, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to work for no man. Like, that's not about to happen like that.
Yeah.
It happens like that. You get hit with the reality check, and it's like, I stay with a job now.
Yeah.
But it's cool because I know why I'm in it.
Exactly.
You know, even if you don't intend to stay there, you got to get used to that discipline and that structure.
I
And
agree.
That's part of, you know, weeding out those distractions that we talk about.
Real talk. I had a mind at Devil Workshop.
I agree. So we got any more tips, man?
I would say a big tip for me, above all else, is that there's nothing more powerful than a made-up mind. You see a lot of people in life, and they've made it to a certain position because they had a made-up mind. No matter what anybody else said, no matter who the critic was, and a lot of times the critic could be a member of your own family that you highly respect. Whatever the case may be, you have to make that decision yourself that if you want something bad, you got to go out there and get it. You got to have the diligence that comes with it. You got to have the persistence that comes with it. You got to be able to sacrifice and put everything on the line to go after your dreams. There's no dream too big for you. And the dream, you're able to break it down if you stick with it. You can't let go and lose sight of your dream, you know. So that's a very important point. I would definitely leave y'all with that. Have a made-up mind, no matter what anybody says. And God is going to take care of the rest.
And I'm gonna keep it short and simple, man. He said, it's a quote that says, he that is in you is greater than him that is in the world. Find yourself, man. Find yourself.
Damn. Well, I guess my point will be, look at struggles as tests. Look at struggle, everything it is that you go through is just a test to make you better. And look at it from the mental model that, hey, this is happening for me, it's not happening to me. And look for the reason as to why it's happening to you. You know, so I'll end it like that. That'll be my quote. That'll be the end of this episode. I'm in Confronting Demons Part 2.
Confronting Demons Part 2.
Part 2. Be sure to like, subscribe as well to our YouTube channel. We have our shout out to our Instagram, my brother.
Asaad M_.
Alrighty.
Yeah, mine is ish.dts with a bunch of A's. Y'all just put ish, you'll find it.
Alrighty. Our links, mine should be K Rafi and then I think it's K Rafi. King Rafi _1, I think, something like that. But also, I want to say one last thing. We're going to be having a lot that's taking place with our podcast. We're getting live. We're going to be going live on Instagram. You know, we definitely want some of our subscribers to be more engaged, you know, and have live discussions on some of the episodes that it is that we have. You know, so we want to go live with a couple of you all. You know, we got our Brother Asaad over here, Brother Ishmael, even myself, some of us will be on there handling business, so we just want to go live with some of y'all. Send us some messages in our send a message on Instagram and let us know what you think, and we'll go from there. But till next episode of Confronting Demons, episode 2.
Hey, and like he said, real quick, follow us on all platforms, Fruit of Life Podcast, all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everything, you feel me?
Including Spotify, man.
The feedback coming to you.
All right,
Call it, man. We'll
take
see
care, y'all.
Peace.